Kids with guns, kids with guns, taken over by won't be long. They mesmerize skeletons. Kids with guns.
What's up, YouTubies? I'm Gorillaz from GamingLegit, bringing you the second part of this three-part series. Actually, I know in the first video I said this is a two-part series, but actually it's a three-part series. After I went back and watched the film, I found out this video is actually like 30 minutes long, so I had to break it up into 3 different films. Sorry if my voice is like cracking and stuff and sounding all like pubescent, but I'm kind of sick and I'm getting over it, so my voice is all crazy. But I've been getting quite a few messages from my subscribers and people I've added as friends going, Gorillaz, point proven with the sickness. Sorry. Gorillaz, where's part 2? When are you going to put up part 2? Getting all these like messages. And so here's part 2, guys. I'm probably going to upload this tonight. This is March 18th. I like to space out my films so I can maximize the views on one film to make sure all my subscribers have watched like the first film, or at least like 80% of my subscribers have, and so that way they don't jump into part 2 without watching part 1 first. So what you guys saw from the first one ended with me being killed at the end just after I took out the tank. So these games are linked, like, you know, just chronologically right in order. I actually replay like the last 30 seconds of the previous film just so you guys have a little reminder of where I'm stepping into this current game. Last game I talked about your role as a squad, like the tactician, as far as the breakdown between your players, who's going to play what position, and my setup, my technique. And remember, I also was telling you guys that the technique is of your own. I'm just giving you guys a strategic tip, if you will. You could, you know, do what you want with it. It's just something that works for me. Now, the other night I was playing with some of my subscribers, actually only 2 of them. And if you're working with a group of 3, it's different from a group of 4. You really have to be tight with your layout. And if you're working with a group of 3, you have to give out and sacrifice that sniping role. And I know a lot of people like playing that sniping position because it just feels good to get snipes like in the back of the map behind everybody. You feel safe, and you can, you know, get kills steadily over a period of time without being killed or anything. And people usually fancy that, you know, dying less and getting a higher KDR. But it's really frustrating when you're playing with, for instance, my subscribers. I'll just be real with you guys. I'm not hating on you guys. I enjoy playing with you guys. It's just sometimes when you play as a group of people, you guys are cognitive in the sense that you'll have one person playing a sniper, therefore you won't have 2 other snipers. That generally, when I'm playing with my subscribers, they won't be like, oh, I'm going to snipe. I don't care that my other friends are sniping. I'm going to snipe too because I want to snipe. Usually that's not the case. You guys are pretty smart in that you'll see that someone's sniping. You'll be like, alright, I can't snipe, so I guess I'll play a medic class. Or you'll ask, like, are one of you guys medic? One of you guys engineer? One of you guys sniper? Now on that too, if you guys don't know what your teammates are, you can't ask them, of course, but if they don't have mics, or if you just want a quicker way of figuring it out, on the left-hand corner, on the bottom left-hand corner right by the HUD where it lists your squad members, it gives a little symbol. And that symbol's directed over to what class your team's playing as. So the plus sign obviously is the medic. The little crosshairs with a circle is a sniper. Lightning bolt, for whatever reasons, the assault. I still don't understand that symbol, that relationship. And the tool is the engineer. And with those emblems too, you remember your squad mates have green names that show up above them, and the other part of your team that's not part of your squad show up as blue, and so you can identify your team throughout the map by the green that shows up by them. You can also see those little emblems telling what class they are above your squad's head. And so if you have if you get shot and you're losing some health and you want to get some health and you're trying to identify where your team is, if you scan the map and you see that little plus emblem up in a building or something like that, you know that's your medic. And so you move over to him or have him move over to you, or, you know, identify your position based on where he's at and direct him over to you. That's a little tip on using those icons also on top of the squad. In the first part too, I was talking about your rushes and all. Actually, no, I don't know if I did talk about that. It's the second part of the strategy, and it goes into stressing the other team out. And if you stress another team out, just like any actual athletic sport, and if you stress someone out and you're just giving them a bunch of crap, you're giving them lip up on the field like during the game or whatever, you're gonna stress the player out, and his playability is gonna drop. It's kind of the method and tactic I like putting into my game, and I really tried to emphasize just rushing these demolition points one after another after another. And the reason why you're doing that obviously is because I'm talking about stressing out the other team. And if you're just continually rushing these demolition points, these guys are not going to play lackadaisical. They're not going to be able to relax. They have to be continually just like focusing on the demolition point and making sure that people aren't getting into their objectives and arming them. And if you're just pounding them, thwarting them constantly, consistently as a whole team, rushing in and arming those things, killing a bunch of them, you're stressing them out, you're keeping them on their toes, and their playability will drop. Have you guys used all of the sniper rifles? I know I get asked, like, when I'm online, or I get some messages, like, almost every single time I hop online, I get, like, I don't know, 6 messages or so. Some of them are questions, some of them are friend requests, some of them are, like, game invites, but no, I get asked, like, what weapons do I use, and asked, like, preference of weapons and stuff. I just want to talk right now about the sniper rifles. It's pretty funny because in Modern Warfare 2, it works the same way. You unlock weapons, but just because you unlock them later on doesn't mean they're better than some of the weapons you get earlier in the game. And it's kind of like the same thing with this game. In some sense, like, the assault rifles seem completely progressive. Like, the newer the assault rifle you get, the better they are, in just my opinion. But as sniper rifles go, like, the sniper rifles are so different with every change or every new unlock, that they're kind of hard to compare besides like the bolt action rifles. So I'm going to compare like the bolt action rifles together. So like the first one you get, I think, is the M24, and then later on you unlock the GOL or the GOL or whatever you want to call it. Then the very, very last one is the dick enhancer, I like to call it, the M95. And my say on the M95 is that it's just it just makes your manhood seem bigger when you're carrying that thing. Like, it's a dick enhancer, and it doesn't serve much more than that. Like, I hear some people say, well, it works better for long distances. And yeah, it's a good sniper rifle for long distances, but if you use the GOL, you can do the exact same thing as you use the M95 for. And I haven't personally experienced much of a difference as far as, like, I've used the M95 and have shot people across the map and haven't killed people with one shot. And so even though the damage is a little bit more, it doesn't mean you're going to get one shot kills every single time you use it. And for that, and it's got massive recoil too. When you shoot the thing, and it just like bounces up like you just shot like a rocket launcher. And there's a big reload like action that takes place because it's a bolt action, way longer than the GOL, I think. And then to get back into your aiming, it just seems like it's not really efficient sniper rifle, and the only thing it's good for is making your dick feel bigger, because when you shoot the thing, it's just so massive you just feel like a man. That's just my personal interpretation of using that gun. So we obviously got those demolition points finally, and we're pushing over to this. And my little note for going into this part of this map, this game's going to be ending fairly soon, within the next minute and a half. But advancing to this point, don't use the death bridges, as I like to call them, where you just like run down the narrows of the bridge. You can't hide when you're running down those bridges, and you're just sticking out like a sore thumb, and that's like the main focus of the defensive team, is waiting for people to come from that general area. My tip as far as playing this part of this map, getting to this demolition point offensively, is to use the water, jump into the water and use the side ladders and kind of route around alongside of the map and attacking the demolition point sideways, because if you get in from the side, you catch normally like 80% of the team off guard. Some of the smart defensive players will be paying attention to side attacks, but you are going to have a higher efficiency rate if you're going to be arming demolition points from side attacks rather than just like sprinting down the center of the map. You're just begging to be sniped. And you'll get more kills too while you work through the map. And you get more kills, you reduce the defense that's going to be on that demolition point, obviously, and you arm that demolition point. This game's going to be ending. Thank you guys for being such awesome subscribers. I love you. I love playing with you guys. You guys are really cool. You guys are all really nice. I love talking to you and hanging out with you guys online. Add me as a friend if you guys want. You see the gamer tag in the very beginning of this game. I'm Corsi for GamingLegit. Please subscribe and rate, and pay attention to part 3, which will be coming up in a few days. Love you guys. God bless.